Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Agency Playbook, a 10-minute rapid-fire session on how you can leverage the Full Throttle technology platform. Today, we're going to be focusing on how to identify the anonymous traffic you work so hard to deliver for your clients. To introduce ourselves, my name is Amol Waishampine. I'm the Chief Product Officer at Full Throttle, and we also have Jim Hughes, our VP of Channel Partnerships, on as well.
Hello, everyone.
So why are we here today? Just to recap, we're going to help agencies provide innovative, future-proof technology, amplify their current programs, provide activation with recency and relevance, and also provide more client data, trends, insights, and buyer journey, the things that your clients are always looking for, and ultimately help you increase your customer retention and your revenue source. Today's focus is going to be on understanding how to identify that anonymous traffic. Now, most agencies do a great job driving quality traffic to a client's website. So what are the problems we're trying to solve for? Three key things. One, an over-reliance on indefinite metrics like bounce rate, time on site, form submission, click to calls. Everyone looks at Google Analytics and everyone relies on these things. However, there is fatigue from that, as well as the limited 2% of your clients website that is often converting. We are forever trying to illustrate the value of that quality traffic, and it is really tough. And that's why we're here to talk to you about Full Throttle. The other thing that we're trying to solve for is understanding, how do consumers really shop? Do they shop in one line? This is how most organizations measure their Google Analytics. You open an email, you immediately click on it, and you fill out a form, and that's called a conversion, right? It's within one session, which is typically defined as 30 minutes by Google, or as a continuous shopping experience. But this isn't how people actually shop, right? And that's why Google Analytics often does disservice to the amazing work that agencies are actually doing. So how do most consumers actually shop? It's through multiple sessions. To give you an example, you may open that email, you get busy because you're in the middle of doing something else. You might see that display ad and click that display ad at another point in the day, and again, you might get busy. Finally, when you have time, you get free. You have brand recall and say, hey, I did want to spend 10 minutes looking at that piece of furniture or that car or whatever it may be. You go in organically and you go Google that business, and then you would go and fill out the form or pick up the phone and take a conversion event. So most consumers shop not in a direct line. It's curvy and it's wavy, and it goes through multiple sessions. And that's such a key focus of what we're able to deliver and show our clients with the Full Throttle technology stack. So let's go right into it. First, we identify households that are anonymous on your site using no pre-existing data. We don't need a CRM list. We don't need a previous database or a mailing list. With a simple piece of technology, we are able to identify anonymously the households that are on your site, whether it's for a national retail furniture store, whether it's for a local individual retailer in a 50-mile radius. The depth is broad, and we can do that in a national way, a regional way, or a local way, depending on your client. You can also see that where you can look at that information in a map view or a list view, where for every household, you're able to see exactly how many devices in the family have been shopping, where they are in the buyer journey, and some incredible opportunities to do instant emailing within 24 hours, instant mailing to their mailbox within 48 hours, and then using our integrated DSPs, you can deliver instant social and display advertising as well. And as you can see here, we're able to map the entire journey across multiple devices, all tied down to the same household, whether you're looking at it in the list view or you're looking at that within a particular household view as well. Every URL in that buyer journey. So really incredible experience.
Just to reinforce to everyone, these are anonymous shoppers. These are those people that have come to the site, have not filled out a form submission, and has looked at your products, your services, and have left. Now, this is an ability to be able to market to them and to the household. Maybe Amal, take a half second here, if you would. Just talk a little bit of how our identification is happening and how that maybe differs from IP address or mobile ID, and how we're really tracking sort of a latitude, longitude.
Really a big part of this technology is our fully future-proof cookieless way that we're doing this. So we're not using IP address, we're not using mobile ID or MAIDs. It's also referred to as IDFA or AAID, which is the Android device ID. And we're not using any of those methods. We're using a browser opt-in, so that when you opt in, you see the location pop up in your browser that says, will blank allow you to use your site. We're getting a latitude and longitude, and with that, we're able to understand the entire journey, whether it starts at the grocery store, whether it starts at work and continues on in the home and then continues on in the gym, etc. So we're able to take that entire journey again across multiple family members and tie that all back to the household using a fully future-proof cookieless technology.
And what's key there is we've been speaking to a lot of agencies across the country. One of the questions that people ask is, how are you going to be impacted by some of the upcoming data and privacy restrictions? And as you referenced them all, because we are a location-based technology and we're not impacted by a lot of those restrictions coming up, and our ability to identify households should not be impacted by anything going forward.
It's a great question, Jim, and it's a really key part of how we deliver these households and deliver this unique set of data to agencies. So tell me a little bit about what we're seeing on this screen, Jim.
And so this is Wallside Windows out of Eastern Michigan. They've been on the platform for about 15, 16 months now and have really seen success, and appreciate what the technology has been doing with them. So dashboard we're on right now is the marketing analytics dashboard. So from left to right, we're showing the identification, how we're identifying households at a latitude, longitude. So as we look back at the month of January, we identified over 3,100 households that came to that client's website. Think about that for one moment. Over 3,000 households were identified to the household level and name, and we were able to market back to them. These are people you would never have known who they were before. We're never going to have a one-to-one correlation there. Obviously, people are not always at home. We are looking at residential addresses. Middle, the marketing. So of those 3,192 households, everyone was digitally marketed to. If you had a social element in the campaign as well, all of the households will receive digital and social marketing. The variable is direct mail. That is based off of budget and allocation in that area. In this particular case, just about half of the households did receive a direct mail, and we do show you when that fulfillment date is hit. And email is unlimited, so every email we append to a household, we will send to it. Lastly, on the right-hand side, one of the real true benefits of the technology is the ability to show a conversion matchback. Because we identified the household in the first place, we can actually do a matchback with your clients and be able to show what the conversion rates were here. On this client, they're measuring sales transactions, and their second point of measurement are when they're asking for appraisals, and they're tracking that as well. Both the agency partner here and the end client have really appreciated the data. And lastly, we have measurement. Because we identified the households in the first place, we're able to do a conversion matchback with our clients to see who actually transacted with them and what other measurement you want to have. Here with Wallside Windows, we're measuring sales households, what were actual transactions, and the second measurement point is appraisals. So we're also tracking appointments for appraisals. So depending on what client is on and what the industry vertical is, we're allowed to present two metrics there. As long as we're able to be provided the matchback data, we can do it and present that information.
I think a question we often get is, what are the key kind of companies that can actually use this technology?
We've certainly had experience and success in a number of industry verticals. I think if you step back and just say, what are the industries, what businesses, what clients of ours are we spending money for to drive people to the site, start thinking of things that are a little bit maybe longer buying cycle, where people are coming to the site, competitive environments, if you will, as well. So certainly automotive, retail, the home improvement, HVAC has been very strong for us, especially seasonal in different parts of the country. We have a unique way to work with e-commerce companies as well that's a little different than we do with some of the other industry verticals. Again, the rest is pretty much self-explanatory there. Real estate, travel, financial education, insurance. Again, industries in which have a lot of people coming to their sites, that are driving people to the site, that people are making some decisions. They might come back to the site once or twice. They might be looking at a competing site before they make a decision to make the purchase of a product or a service from a client. That is what we're saying, that we're not limited here. Our criteria and some of the limitations are making sure there's enough web traffic there in a mall. I think what we have found collectively is that 3,000 minimum unique visitors per month is probably the low end of where we would like to be. Certainly we can work upwards of hundreds of thousands unique visitors per month in a mall. I think you referenced with me recently, probably our largest play is we've been upwards of almost 1 million unique visitors, I think would be in sort of an automotive manufacturer capacity, correct?
Yep, exactly. Maybe we can recap, Jim, again, what are we helping agencies do at the end of the day?
What are our clients looking for us as agencies and their agency partners? They're looking for them to bring forward technology that's innovative, that's relevant to their industry, that's going to make a difference. Shopper Suite certainly provides that. The ability to amplify the other programs and support the other programs. Activation, when we look at marketing, what are two of the key components of a marketing strategy? Recency and relevance to the customer. Getting a message back and making sure there's enough impressions that it's on top of mind and relevant to the consumer. What's more relevant to a consumer than being able to spin back a message or a why buy message on a product or service and in which they just visited the website? Obviously, you've got their attention. It's now time to make sure you're delivering back a message and a timely message. Lastly, as we move forward in our next play and playbook, we're going to talk more about how the data and analytics can be used, attribution, and I think will surprise you a little bit from an agency perspective of how you can utilize that data to support the decisions you're making and as you're presenting your ideas and marketing programs to your clients.
Cool. Thanks, Jim. And we'll see everyone on the next one.